Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another show of Fuente and Meerapfel present Meet the Professor. Hello, world.
What's happening, people?
How you doing, Jose? Melanie, where's Melanie? How you doing, Melanie?
I'm good. How are you guys? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday and happy belated Thanksgiving to both of you and to everybody else out there. Yeah. I hope you managed to stuff that turkey and have a feast.
It was delicious.
Yeah, he was stuffed.
I bet Jose ate really well. If he was,
I'm still eating.
He hasn't gotten over it. He's still going at it. Jose, where's that turkey?
Right here in my belly.
How'd you do it? Did you roast it? Did you guys fry it? How'd you cook the turkey?
Oh, in the oven. It took Emma a long time to do it. She takes her time. She marinates in a totally different way, but it was good. And I'm not a turkey fan. I eat turkey once a year, and that's it.
Really? I love turkey, but I only eat it once a year too.
Turkey.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the day you've all been waiting for. We have an incredible guest of honor. He's a very special person. He's a man that many of you know, others don't. He's a quiet man, a man from behind the scenes, one of the most knowledgeable people from our industry, a player which makes a huge difference, somebody we should all listen to and all look up to. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Jochy Blanco. Jochy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you, my cousin, Melanie. We're going to have a really nice time together.
Absolutely. And I heard cousin, is that correct?
Grandpa.
He's a grandfather cousin, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only cousin of the professor, Mr. Jochy Blanco. Professor.
Yeah, well, I was telling before the show that when I used to work for La Aurora, Jochy would go around and ask a lot of clients, have you seen my grandfather? And then people say, who's your grandfather? Jose Blanco. And I will tell them, wait till I see that cousin of mine, you're going to see what I'm going to do to him. Because even though I'm older than him, I look younger than him. So that's a fact.
Well, let's find out who's going to agree with that one today.
But anyway, listen, let's start. Jochy to me is not only my first cousin, he's like a brother to me. I've spent more time with him actually than I have with my own brother, who has been living in Holland for 30 years. We've been very close, and I appreciate all he has done for me, for the family, and all that. And I have a lot of respect for him. Sometimes we don't agree on some tobaccos, but I do respect him a lot. So let's get into business. Jochy, Tabacalera Palma was established in 1936 by your father, my cousin, Arnaldo Blanco. Next year will be 85 years.
Your uncle?
My uncle.
Yeah. Okay.
My uncle, Tionanan. Next year will be 85 years of Tabacalera Palma. If your father, my uncle, would be alive today, what would be his biggest surprise?
Well, I think it's a combination of different things. I think he would be really happy about our farms, the farms that we have now, different farms, and be proud of us that our products, our cigars, are all around the world. And I think that could be his biggest satisfaction. Looking the farm, the new seeds, the new varieties of tobacco that we have, and our product going to so many far places in the world. He would be proud of that.
Would he be surprised of the prices for a cigar today? Because remember, I remember when we started there, a cigar was 3 cents. Un fino y un grueso was 5 cents. What would he think about the prices of today?
That's another story. I cannot imagine they looking the prices that people today pay for the cigars. It's incredible. Yes, of course. Uh, when people are getting on, I remember the latest day of of my father. At the end, he was when he was 78, 80. Sometimes he had some money on the pocket. He went and buy something and spend something to buy something, and he give 10 pesos. Like that. That's not enough for that. 20 pesos. Oh, are you crazy? Yes, that is not enough. When people are getting old, uh, they lose the value of these things, really. So, with the prices of the cigars today, I cannot imagine. We will be really shocked. Really shocked.
All the old timers would be. Look, between selling cigars, making cigars, our great grandfather, our grandfather, it's 5 generations. Now your son Jose Manuel, which is 21, I think, is
Yes.
starting to be involved in the business. He has a good palate. He's learning. He's passionate about it. So, how do you feel that now that Jose Manuel, your son, as the son of many other family-owned companies, are into the business? How proud? I know you're very proud of him, but how does it make you feel?
Uh, I'm really very happy about it. I'm proud. Really, really happy. Really satisfied. He has a long way for learn, but he is being with me, going to the farm since he was a kid. Normally, all this Sunday, we went to the farms with my Jose Manuel and my other son from 8 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. or 2, saying there were kicks, and he always loved everything that we did. I think he has that passion since he was a kid, really. But now he's getting a man now, so really, really, he like what we do. He has the passion, big passion for our industry, for what we do, for, and I am proud, really proud of it. Eh? You want to say
Oh,
something? What do you think?
Well, I mean, as he said, I have an older brother, and I'm Jose. My father's Jose. My grandfather was Jose. So, and all the generations of the people that,
Many Jose. Eh?
yeah, many Jose's, and the tobacco. And I'm the one that was always more interested. I didn't have trouble getting up at 7 in the morning to go to the farms when I was a kid.
Sometimes.
Well,
Sometimes, eh? That depends about the night before. Eh?
listen, and now that a lot of people might not know it, that my son Gregory is working with you, so we add another Blanco to that. So, how hard is it for Jose Manuel and Gregory to convince you of something?
Sometimes we have to meet a couple times together to try to get him to do something, but usually he if he doesn't allow us, he tells us why. He explains why we shouldn't do that or whatever. So I mean, once in a while, there are some let's say not confrontations, but things that we don't agree on. But in the end, we always understand each other. So that's a good part. He always teaches us.
Jochy, your father
Sometimes
was.
sometimes I let them. Okay, you want to do that? Go and learn, because I know that this something is going to be not so good. But try. They have to learn trying. It's important.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that. A lot of people might not know it, but we had Trujillo in for 31 years, and your father, because he was against Trujillo was in jail. My father, out of the 31 years of the dictatorship, was exiled for 30 years, actually, and didn't come back to the country after Trujillo was killed. Tell us a little bit about how hard it was for the family at that time, really, with the dictatorship, to work, be successful, and be alive.
No, was difficult time. I was not born during those days. I am the younger of 9 kids. So probably my sister and my mother be more affect than me on that situation. But that was being Jay uh, during those days was not easy. Unfortunately, my father they let go outside because he got sick on Jay, and everybody was thinking that he's going to die. That was the reason that they let go home. But thank God that didn't happen. My father got married, has 9 kids, 7 girls, and 2 boys. A long life, a really beautiful life. But uh, all his life he was affected of the time he was on jail. Uh, he was affected. He didn't like to go outside too much any place. Uh, being being most of the time at home, just working. And for the factory, it was difficult because he cannot show you face too much because he was an enemy of the government. And having 7 girls and really beautiful girls uh, was put my father in a more difficult situation because Trujillo loved to take all the girls in all the towns around the country. He was taking everything that he wanted. So my father was all the time worried about all those situations. And the business really, Trujillo has a cigar company. Uh, he was
La Manera.
he took that company also. And be the competitor was the president and your enemy was not easy. Uh, were really difficult times. Really difficult. Uh, uh, we have to pay more taxes than the company of Trujillo. They try to destroy all these small companies. Trujillo tried to destroy these small companies during those days. Was not easy. Was not easy. Uh, but interesting, but difficult times. Really difficult.
No, without a doubt. So, what year did you? When did you exactly take over? The small factory that your father had at that time, and then have built this pretty big complex. But it wasn't big in the beginning. So, when did you exactly take it over?
In 81, 82. But I was my father all my life, and I was 12, 13 years. I go in the summer. I go some Saturdays and Sunday to work with them. Uh, uh, and in the 80s, I decide to change. I talk with my father that this market is dying because my father, the factory of my father, was only producing cigar for local market, and I'm based on only one seed is Olor Dominicano. All the cigars that he produced or we produce on those days was for local, absolutely 100% local market. But and more farmers used to smoke those cigars in the countryside. The people that grow cacao in the sugar cane, coffee, was the people that consume that kind of cigars. But the population on the after 1780, uh, we has a lot of cigarette company coming to the country, and the population changed a lot. our cigars to cigarettes because mainly our cigars, when people smoke our cigars in the cities, the other people see then that they came from the countryside, that they were farmers. And, was a big change uh, on the market. I decided to make a different cigar, like we do with new seed. On those days, we had the Piloto. We I decided to make everything different and new, just for exportation, and trying the new tobaccos, buying more from Uden, more from Miami. And I began in '82 exactly.
Hi, guys. Welcome, you guys, always, and thank you for joining our show so far. Be sure to go ahead and put in your questions to Nell the Professor, because you can win a bobblehead, and that is fabulous. So put your questions in the comments right now. We will ask the questions later and see who wins.
Archie, I was asking you, when you started to export, do you remember your first client?
Oh yes, I did a trip, my first trip. I went to Miami first, and after that New York with some samples and some cigars in my baggage. And my first, my two first cousins was Mike on Miami. The was a old guy. I used he was my cigars.
Oscar.
No, was not Oscar. No,
Really?
no, it was not Oscar. It was Mike.
Oscar Buruccini.
Oscar Boducini came like 10, 15 years later. Oscar used to
Really?
work with Mike.
Ah, okay.
Was not Oscar. And Margot,
Jose, will you
Yes.
stop interrupting your cousin and listen to him for a change?
and Mark Gorman, 42 Peace Avenue, New York, Manhattan.
Moms.
Mons cigars. And I found them in the yellow page, looking the yellow page in the hotel, looking distributor, cigar distributor. I check on the page and I know the address and work around them to show them and smoke them my cigars. Oh, tough day, really tough days. And those people were hard to buy, hard, really hard. Really,
So as a young person, really, how hard was it for you to really start up? They didn't know you were from Dominican Republic, a small factory. You didn't have that name. So really, how hard was it in the beginning?
oh my God. You cannot imagine how many cigars I have to sell at cost for just create a relation. The price on those days was 18 cents, 20 cents, 15 cents, 25 cents, 30 cents, 32 cents. Those were the prices. And coming from a young kid that nobody knows, they kill me almost all the time. But that was the cause of us some recognition with them. And not too much money, with small loan in the bank, we have to move and we have to pay the bills. Was really tough time. Tough time. But I knew all the time that I'm going to make it. I didn't care how much work I did has to make, but I did with happiness, with love, and sometimes I feel sad, but was a great time. It's no matter the hard time we pass.
It's a very good story, Jochy. And I'm not surprised that you've managed to get where you are today, thanks to that hard work and the passion. And I think everybody around and reading from the chats today are very impressed and proud of the amazing work and achievements you've done whilst remaining such a humble gentleman. It's quite amazing. Jochy, somebody has just arrived on the show, and I can see they want to say hello to you.
Hola, Jochy.
Hey, mi hermano.
Hermano mío, tenemos que ponernos los pejuelos para saber quién está
Ya.
del otro lado. Papo, te quiero, hermano.
Igual.
Muy feliz y muy orgulloso de compartir esto contigo, de verdad. And to hear all your incredible stories and struggle, which are not uncommon in the industry. You know, it's not uncommon in life, and it's not uncommon in entrepreneurship. But through perseverance, hard work, to integrity, honesty, and building a reputation and relationships, you could achieve very great things, which you have. And besides you, we're very close friends. We know our relationship goes back a very, very long time. And your affection for my father, your respect for my father, and as well as my father for you. He always had an apple in his eye for you. You're a special human being, and I'm so honored that you're my colleague, you're my friend, you're my brother.
Thank you. You know it came from the heart.
Absolutely.
Jochy, Papa, what's up?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, man. But you know what? I just found out my computer's blocked. They block it, so you're not supposed, so that people don't get on the internet and start, getting losing focus on what. I just found out. I got to go to the front desk. My computer's blocked here, but I got my phone. A Dominican always finds his way out. Believe me.
Jochy, so all of a sudden, you started in 2 and 3. You're doing there, not making a lot, but still coming up year by year. Growing. 1992, 93, the boom starts, and then all hell comes out. Every time Dick and Harry, we ran out of the Don's name. They started with a Don from an A all the way down to Z. They couldn't even keep up the names of brands and all that. And of all the 30, 40, 50 people that had factories, the big guys and you and Lito were only the ones that survived. I estimate that maybe 30, 35, 40 companies closed down in Tamboril. So for you to go through all that and had survived, how did it feel?
Oh, no, I feel good. I am a fighter. Eh? During those days, we have to fight a lot because some of the company came with a lot of money. Eh? We didn't have that money. We had relation. We didn't have that money, but some of the company came paying double the price of the tobacco, and sometimes 3 times the price of the tobacco, and paying the rollers and double salary than we paying, and was difficult. You compete with those new guys that did not have any experience, did not have any knowledge about tobacco, any passion, just looking for the money. We have to fight a lot. All the companies we were fighting for the rollers, stolen roller for one company to the other because we didn't have enough roller during those days. Fighting for the tobacco growers also was difficult. Interesting. I fight like crazy during those days. I remember me taking tobacco from other bigger company than me because they take my roller. So I was a fighter. I take tobacco from them. They take from me. Oh, it was a little war. And Carlito knows a lot about that. Eh? We fight. I fight a lot. I fight. I have a really small company. I remember maybe 15 roller. 15 roller.
Jochy, thank God we were 20 years younger too, you know?
What? Yeah. 30, almost 30 years, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Because not only did we fight a lot, we physically fought a lot. We used to break in people's cigar factories looking to see what roller was sitting in there and so forth.
Oh my
It
God.
was crazy.
I remember one time I had like 15, 20 roller. Some company, a big company, take 2 or 3 of my roller. Okay, I'm going to do something. For next weekend, I make a meeting. I invite 6 or 7 supervisors of that company. We get drunk, talking about. I told them, I'm going to put you a factory to each supervisor in the home. You're going to make double money that you're making in the company. I said, oh my God, where am I going to get it back on the money for? Okay, so we stay until 2 o'clock in the morning, drinking and celebrate. I'm making the celebration that I'm going to take from that fight to the two roller. I'm going to take 6 of the supervisors. They were happy, really for us happy. Next week, that company has double their salary, and after that, they don't touch my roller anymore. They have to double the salary to the 6 supervisor. Double. But they learned that lesson that as more mosquito can damage.
It absolutely can. You know what else can damage?
What?
You know what else can damage?
No, the passion that you have.
Let's look at this coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Nail the Professor. All right, Melanie, you ready for the questions?
I have one question that I have one question I think would be fabulous. Oh gosh, I just lost it. It was, which cigar company supplied the cigars? What was it for the? Oh. All right. Which company supplied the cigars for Gomez when filming The Addams Family?
Oh my goodness.
I like that
Professor,
one.
this is going to be tough.
This is straight tobacco.
This is going to be a tough one.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, are we going to nail the professor today?
Yeah, you nailed me because I never heard anything about that. I mean, I want people asking me about curing, about fermentation, about seeds, about countries, about things. The Addams Family, really? Come on, send them the bubblehead.
All right, guys, listen. This is the last time we do this. We're going to have to start asking more specific questions to tobacco because this is not fair. The professor is not a professor in sexual education that we all know. He is not a professor in the things of the world. He is a professor in tobacco. So the questions have to be tobacco related. Understood?
But anyway, what's the answer to this?
I have no idea.
Does anybody know
who
the
did
answer?
that, Melanie?
Who asked it?
But I think Carlito knows. I think Carlito knows the.
No, I know who to reach out to get the answer. We should call Rich Myber. He has the answer to that.
He's probably on here.
Or the
All right, hold on. Let's pull in Rich. Rich?
No.
No. All right, we're getting rid of Rich.
I don't know that one.
Maybe George Brightman. If the Pope would be online, he would know it. I mean, this is crazy. The Adam Family, really? The only thing I know about the Adam Family is that Raul Julia, who was a great actor, and he smoked cigars, and he left us at a very relatively young age. But he was an amazing actor and a huge cigar smoker. There's a lot of quotes about cigars from Raul Julia. I never got to meet him, but I saw all his movies and all that.
Fantastic.
He was one hell of an actor. Great, big cigar smoker. Raul Julia, even though you're not with us, we love you, brother.
Absolutely. We miss him.
All right. Well, listen, Professor, give us some kind of knowledge on something. I know you love talking about seed. Why don't you throw something at us today?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. It's something that has a lot to relate to you, and I'm not going to get tired of saying it. Because, we get that question all the time. I was on a show last night with my good friend Matty Rock. We had a blast with the bourbon blog, and always Cameroon comes up. Look, to all those people out there, a lot of people lately have been saying on the show, Cameroon is coming back. It's always been there. The problem with Cameroon that a lot of people, claim to be using Cameroon, grown in Honduras, grown in Ecuador, grown in Nicaragua, grown in who knows where. But at the end of the day, let's face it, and this is my own personal opinion that I've been saying for 35 years, the best rapper in the world is Cameroon, grown in Cameroon by the Meerapfel family. And if tomorrow I were to go to Cameroon or Jochy would go to Cameroon and we would grow Cameroon there, we could call it Cameroon. But you cannot call Cameroon if it's not grown in Cameroon. So that's my 2 cents for today.
Well, you can come, but you got to get my seeds first.
Let's continue. Jochy.
I see my son found some of the answer for that question. Huh?
Really?
Yeah.
Finally somebody with a brain on the show.
I found it. Apparently he smoked some Cuban Punch Double Corona and also some Gloria Cubana. That's what I found he used to smoke. Gomez Adams. From the
Oh, nice.
Mr. Blanco Jr., you just won a bobblehead of Carlito Fuente.
See, the younger generation can figure it out.
Exactly.
Of course they
Exactly.
can. Google. Jochy, one of your main business during many, many, many years, you sold to the big companies, to the mid-sized companies, but also to all those little factories in Tamori. There's a lot of them. You give them credit. They take some time. Sometimes they disappear. But you have been like, I don't want to use the word godfather, but you've been like the man in Tamboril and also for a lot of small factories in Villa Gonzalez that has, given them tobacco, whether it's filler or binder or wrapper, and helped them out. How does that feel for you, even though you have your own business, your own factory, to have helped so many people get started and supply them with tobacco during many, many, many years?
No. I do what I learned in my life. I learned that from my father. From that you have to be, you have to try to help others. Have to, we can never think that we can be the big corporation or the big company or the big guy. I got from it's a family tradition. When you can help people, when you can support another people, we are there and we try to do our best. I think it's our nature is to be happy, and I think it's fair on life. We're not going to take everything that we make on life, but we make good friends and good relation, and that's for me is really important. Uh, there was no reason for do not help other people to grow and to do a dream if they have the passion for their growth. I think that's fair on life. Support other people.
Yes, and it's funny because if you look at Ram Rodriguez, he has his little factory, the Artista, which is a young guy, but his grandfather, Pulita, he used to work with Tionanang at the factory. He used to run your father's factory back in 1962, 63, 64, around that time, right?
Yeah, yes, yes. Many people. Many people. Well, for example, 4 or 5 months ago, I was with Eladio from Davido, and we had an event, a little event here in Santiago, and he remembered on this day that he was with my father, and I knew it, but I didn't want to mention on that. He mentioned that he worked with my father, and I knew that Eladio was one of the roller more faster and made more cigars a day. Of the cigars we make, Eladio used to make 1,000 cigars a day. of those kind of cigars. At the adolescent, he was the fastest and one of the best making cigars, and he made that in. I feel I feel proud about that, and he feel proud about he was the fastest and one of the best brothers, and that was a long time ago.
But the other thing is that a lot of people don't, and Carlito and I have talked about this. We didn't have molds at that time.
No, just everything by hand, everything hand. But
I think that
we only
I
make
think
two sizes, finos
yeah.
and gruesos, cigarros finos and cigarros gruesos. Only two, and
Yeah,
5 inches, 5 and 1/4.
and the Finos were long filler, and the other ones were made out of lo
No,
recorte of
no,
the other ones, right?
no. Everything was long filler. Everything,
Okay.
everything was long filler. In the at the beginning, everything was long filler. The small company that for compete they create to make with short filler, but everything was long
Okay.
filler for compete with price.
Another thing is that what's your, we had a very favorable ruling from the FDA, and it gives everybody a breather. And I've said this on many shows. I think that we as an industry have to unite. People have to forget on their personal agendas, their egos, get off their horses, because we have just won a very small battle. So, what are your thoughts on this ruling of the FDA? What do you think, as an industry, we should all do?
I think we have to be day after day more together on that. Some companies, uh, big companies, I think they want FDA. These small companies cannot compete with that, cannot do FDA, and I think uh, we have to be and work together more together against the FDA, because if that happens, the market is going to lose a lot of small guys, small company that has a big passion for make great products, and could be the market would be really less interesting and more boring. Big companies will be stronger. It's not only a big stronger. We're going to lose a lot of people that can create things and have the passion for this industry, and that's not fair. I think those people need to have the opportunity, and the what FDA wants is not logical. It's not fair. It's not. It's killing the opportunities of many small companies and small stores also. So we have to fight against FDA and continue. Of course, we have to be more together, but at some point, it will be not easy, but we have to continue trying to fight.
No, that's true. We have to. Carlitos always brought up his 2 cents on that, and I would like to hear Carlito, that's known Jochy for many years, and they've fought a couple of battles on different things we're not going to get into, but I know they go way back.
Actually, I can't hear the name Jochy Blanco or see him without thinking about the battles way back. When you go through those times and you face the giant face to face, and it was like an invasion, Jose. It really was. It was like, think about this. Think about. I don't want to name any countries historically, but it's like a big invasion. They come into your world, and there is no rules. I mean, there is no integrity. It's just ripping your property away, your intellectual property, your employees, your tobacco that was finance farms, your farms. They would come at night and take your tobacco. So when I see Jochy, I see a fighter and a person who's an ally, who's been by my side, and I've been by his side. He's been by the industry side, and he's always fighting for the little man. As you mentioned, you know, he's always there to support, to find tobacco for those who are not able to reach, you know, to have it available, to give them tobacco, make sure that the little guy could keep his doors open, pay his bills. And I totally agree with Jochy. We have to all unite. We're all one. And there's it's like everything like other industries. I guess it's the same as you know, pharmaceutical industry, the communication industry. You know, now we see with high tech industries and data and so forth. You know, the big companies. It's very difficult to find a big company that someone was born in that company, that is a family company, that they have relationships with through generations. Like you mentioned, Jochy's father and your father and my father with Don Fernando Leon and Benjamin Menendez, and it goes back even to third generations and grandfathers and everything. There is a relationship of respect. When someone comes in from a big company, they come in with high-paid executive. Their job is to perform. It's the bottom line to get more market share. So the only way they can achieve that is destroy and remove all of the competition out of the way so get a bigger piece of the market. And that is what Jochy's facing, what I'm facing, what all the family companies are facing, what the brick and mortars are facing. And that's why I'm so strongly believe that we have to unite and stick together because we have common interests. Because the CRA, the PCA has won battles in the courts. And they said it was impossible to achieve, but those big companies today don't have warning labels on their boxes or on their on all their products that they have. So I think that it's time that we all realize that we're all one. We have common interests, and we should unite. And I think that everybody wins. It's better to be a small piece of a big pie than a big piece of a pie that there's nobody left to buy.
Absolutely, Carlito. Absolutely. And we're counting on everybody, not only the manufacturers, the retailers, but also all of you consumers out there to voice and to make sure those voices go out because it's together, like Carlito said, uniting as one, fists up in the air, that we're going to be able to do something and protect our industry, protect the pleasures of the leaf and of the
Jeremiah, let me add something else. Those companies, those big companies that we had a conflict of interest, which I understand. I respect their position. They're doing their job. We as family manufacturers doing their job, our job to survive. Those executives who were on the table negotiating with us and with our differences are no longer around. There's different people representing those companies. Now there's new people. Those people are gone. They're on to another job. They got promoted to a higher level outside the cigar industry. They don't have skin in the game. They have their pockets in the game. And that's what consumers have to realize. And that's why they have to support the family businesses. If not, the greatest country in the world, the United States of America, is finished. If we don't support the brick and mortar, we don't support the families. That's what makes the United States of America the greatest country in the world. Entrepreneurship. People who work around the clock and don't punch a clock. We have enough lawyers and enough philosophers, enough thinkers in this world. Read them all. They're all in the philosophy books. We need people to work.
Yeah, the irony of all of this is that our entire industry were based on families. Now, whether those families then modify, they change, whatever may happen, but it all started with the same seed, the original seed. And we got to preserve those seeds because once you lose that original seed, whether it's in human beings or in tobacco, it's going to go sour somewhere. Right, Jochy?
Yes, I agree 100%. And Carlito, it's not only in the US, it's all around the world. It's in Europe. Family and medium class make the country stronger. Eh? Family tradition. It's not only in the US. Eh?
I definitely agree. I agree with you totally. Worldwide.
Eh?
But it's those European families also that came to the United States also who made the United States the greatest country in the world. It's the same principles, the same family. It's in the Dominican Republic, it's in Nicaragua, it's in Brazil, it's in Mexico, it's in everywhere around the world.
Agree.
Which is being lost. It's being consumed by big interests.
We will continue fighting.
You're damn right. You're damn right. We will, and you'll be by my side as I will be by yours.
In the meantime,
don't forget we got Lito with us too, man. He's always with us. So there's always some napalm, right behind us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the meantime, we get to the best part of our show, the part of the show that everybody waits for every single time. Melanie, you ready for this?
As always, I definitely have some interesting questions for.
Hochi, you're in trouble because,
Oh my
ladies and gentlemen, this is Melanie's hotspot.
Yeah. All right, Ochi, let's see what you got. Let's start out with something maybe a little easy. What is the kind of thing that really makes you laugh?
it- Wow. La vida. So, okay, many things, many things. The latest one are ¿cómo se dice en eso? My godson, my great son, my great sons, granddaughter, grand. Yeah. Oh my God, his English is bad, eh? It's worse than mine, eh? Yeah.
Hochi,
Yes.
your English up to now was impeccable. What happened?
Grandchild.
Eh?
My grandchild.
My grandchild, lately, I have two now. I
Should I
have
ask another question? We can go to next. You can say next.
no.
What is
Many things, and when I create some new blend, I mind myself. Oh, so great. Many things.
all right? So, what is your morning ritual like?
My morning, wake up 6:30. Sometimes I watch 10, 15 minutes of the news on bed. After coffee, sometimes a little breakfast. My first cigars. My first cigars. The first cigars in the morning every day is like a ritual.
What kind of cigar do you usually choose?
Uh, Habano seed, medium, medium to medium plus, uh, robusto, or Lonsdale,
All right.
46 by 6,
All right. So then one last question. What is your favorite type of tobacco?
oof. Talking about seed, my favorite seed.
Well, no, I guess I'm kind of thinking like, what's your favorite kind of tobacco that you'd prefer? Maybe like the wrapper binder that you prefer to smoke that you enjoy the most?
No, that's a difficult question because
Oh,
normally I like the blend, O sea,
right.
I like the Piloto, I like the Criollo Corojo, I love the Cameron, but it's a combination of flavor.
All right.
So uh, I prefer,
So what's your favorite blend?
yeah, I prefer the blend. Yes.
I prefer it like
My favorite blend is with and Piloto with different forms. Uh, the same tobacco, but blending in different forms. Because some farm, for example, in La Canela, we have farm in La Canela, we have farm in Pacagua. If we grow the Piloto, in both and treat them in the same way, they have different taste because the microclimate change a
Oh yeah,
little
that's interesting.
the taste. So the taste is different. So Pacagua has a little more sweetness, Canela has more strength. So make that combination is what made me feel more satisfied in what I do and for smoke also.
All right. That's awesome. Can I ask one more?
All right, Melanie, you get one more.
Yes.
One more. I want to ask you, you guys are sitting here talking about how we need to unite and the CRA, we all should, as you educate the consumers. Obviously, that educates maybe the FDA, the people who don't smoke cigars or are not in the industry or the culture of it. But tactics, actions, like what would you say as a leader, you being a leader, Carlito being a leader, what would you guys say that is the steps to take to be able to get us to take action to unite?
Uh, no, we have to work harder to talk with more people. Um, what been doing is a lot. We've been doing a lot. We have to educate all those politics that does not understand do not understand our business, what means our business for our country, for millions of people, how many people live from our products. We have to educate that, and they have to understand that uh, this is not. It's a pleasure. It's not an. Like, it's not a vice. It's a pleasure. This is a different product from any other tobacco product. It's totally different. It's unique. It's unique. We have this on the blood. When the European arrived to our country, they found the tobacco. Our Indian use in our in our parties, in their parties. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I agree. The culture, that's most important.
So well, we have to work harder. We have to continue to try to put more people, more of the companies together to fight against little companies. Everybody has to do the little part.
Indeed.
Hochi, you did surprisingly well, my friends. You survived Melanie's hotspot. We're very proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank
I
you.
mean, usually we just fall and drown, but you've managed to swim pretty good.
Thank you.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with everything that Hochi said, and it's true. We have to continue to work hard together. But one thing that we're doing that people that I just realized as Hochi spoke, one of the most important things is that we're reaching out to people all over the world, to consumers, to retailers, to other manufacturers, and they're listening. And the more information is out through social media, to these broadcasts, to all the different broadcasts, to the media, the more people are aware, the more engaged they become, the more that they go to the retailer and they requested the retailers to support, the more the retailers will get involved with their local representative. We are doing something just by talking about it. And we have to talk to everybody, make people aware. This is educating, and this is a grassroots movement that's going to have a big impact in the future. I truly believe.
Hochi, you get, I don't know if you heard it before, but Cito Cachella sends you his regards and his best wishes, and he's very happy that you are on the show. And I know that you and Cito have a very good relationship.
Jose,
Oh,
Yeah.
Ciro says hello twice or three times because he's sending messages off the hook, and he says, I would like Hoshi to know that I'm thinking about him, that he's a good friend, that he's a close friend, and he is phoning everybody up so that you, Hoshi, you know right now that Ciro Casquela is looking at this and making sure that you know that he's thinking about you. And by the way, we all salute Ciro. We hope he's well, and we hope he's having a good Sunday with his family out in the Dominican Republic.
Hochi, during many, many years, you did millions and millions of cigars for many companies. Some cigars very well rated, a lot of recognition, but all of a sudden you decide to come up with your own brand, La Galera, that has done pretty good, and I can testify that I'm a big fan of them. I like them. So what made you take that step forward?
a few things, but one of the more important thing I did that was the new generation. They have to continue. They have to continue doing that, and I have to work a little bit of SDA also. Um, in the past, I was really happy growing tobacco and making cigar here. I did not travel too much. I have, I have family, and at some point, I didn't like to travel a lot, like Carlitos or like you, that were being around all the world, traveling and traveling. I really prefer a little in the past, be more on in the factory, farm, enjoying the ocean also. So, but was the right time for do because of SDA and thinking on in my kids, so they have something that they can be proud in the future. now and in the future.
Let me ask you this. Let's be honest, what do you enjoy more? Growing tobacco en La Canela, Potrero, Acagua, Gurabo, or making cigars? Which one is your real passion?
Yeah, man. I cannot make a good cigar if I don't grow tobacco. If I don't grow tobacco, that's no further question because I love both. I need the tobacco in the factories. I don't grow the tobacco. I need that tobacco. That's quality tobacco for making cigars. So, I see both.
I love these questions, Jochy, because these are the questions where this type of relationship with the people watching us goes to a completely new level. You are about to open up the curtains and reveal what's behind the scenes. Go for it.
Look, I love both things, but
You can only pick one. You can only pick one. Which one?
No.
Hey, cousin, leave him alone, will you? You got to leave your cousin alone and let him talk. Stop interrupting. I'm throwing you off the show. Okay, Jose's off. Jochy, you can say whatever you want.
I love growing tobacco, but I love what I can do with that tobacco 4 or 5 years later also. That's not fair, and I love both. I love both. I cannot make what I do is I didn't grow the tobacco. So, and I have passion for both. I think it's a combination. It's a combination. It's like your kids. I have 4 kids. What kids I love more? No, I love all my kids. The farm and the factory are my kids. I love both. I think the same. I cannot make a selection of one really. I love those are my kids. The farms are my kids, and the factory is another kid. So I love both like my kids.
So I'm going to ask you another question. We all know you have a lot of farms and you grow a lot of tobacco, and you also give money to a lot of people that for years, since the days of our uncle, your father, would finance crops. But I know that your favorite farm is La Canela. Tell us why.
It's a dry area, and the characteristics of the tobacco that we grow there in that area are outstanding. That doesn't mean that the tobaccos the other farms are great, but it's not only the farm La Canela, it's the area. I love that area and the quality, the strength, the sweetness, the aroma that we can grow there. Is outstanding. The tobacco in that area is special, really special. We have other farm close to La Canela Potrero, and Potrero is a big farm, and we are not growing a lot because we don't have enough water. We have to work on that. But at the end, I think Potrero will be my favorite farm in the future. Potrero.
Yeah.
It's close to La Canela. It's the same, and the tobacco has the same characteristic.
Jochy, now that we have you on the show, I think everybody here, and there's a lot of people watching this show, we want to hear some really inside stuff about the professor, about your cousin. He's the dictator around here, but we want to hear more.
Want to hear more about Grandpa?
No, about Grandpa Jose.
Yeah. About my grandma. ¿Qué quiero decir algo? Okay, cosa que no sé. Del costo.
Jose.
Hey, what is this? You're all piling.
He just got cut off for a second. It's all yours, Jochy.
It's all mine. You don't know the dark part was my cousin. No. When my cousin he used to work with Run Company. He did some bad things for his competition. He destroyed some parties. He destroyed parties for the competition. Um, about in cigars, we have some fights about the blends many times. We fight about who knows a little more. We joke about that, but at the end, we have our own paladar, our
Ah, yeah.
own taste. But a good cigar is a good cigar. A good blend is a good blend. It's no matter the little difference that we have or whatever.
Oh my God, the things that I have to hear. Carlito, help me out, man.
No, 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 no. Listen, I'm having one of the most fun I've had in a long time on this show, I can tell you.
I am
and,
better
and
smoker
it's
than,
Jochy. Sorry?
I am better smoker than my cousin.
That
Listen,
doesn't surprise me.
I have to say something. I respect Jochy's palate, to be honest, but all the guys that work in his factory, and I wish I could get them on the show, when we would be working on blends, they would all say, Jose Riquelme has a better palate than you, and you know that is true. So let's leave it at that.
Oh, that's a story. That's a story, yeah? That's not true.
All right. Well, we'll let you guys fight it out. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Rich's Riot. Rich, welcome to the show.
Why, thank you. Hi, everybody. Carlito, you missed the Jeremiah joke last week, but Melanie will tell you later how to watch the version of last week's show with Yanni, so you can hear last week's joke regarding Jeremiah. One question that you asked my friend Jochy was whether he liked growing tobacco or making cigars, and that's like asking a singer-songwriter, do you like the music better than the lyrics? You just can't answer that question. He did a pretty good job trying to get to that. Jochy, you and I met having lunch a number of years ago down in Miami when I was working with Raphael and Hank, and we had lunch, and you asked me a question about how I rate cigars, and I said it's pretty simple. Number one, construction. It's got to have great construction. If it's too tight, it's like trying to drink a milkshake through a cocktail straw. If it's too loose, it burns hot and fast. Next for me comes flavor. And I'm not going to tell you it's like pencil shavings or shoe leather. If my palate likes the flavors, I enjoy the cigar. The third step was the body. And that's where I said I differ with a lot of people. The body to me is the smoke. Is it a rich, chewy mouthful of smoke or is it thin vapor? That's the body. And the fourth is the strength. And the strength for me and Brenda is medium to medium plus that we enjoy. And you looked at me and said, you're sure you're a gringo? Most people talk about strength and body as being the same thing, but they're not. I've learned that. And a friend of mine who's related to your cousin, Jose, once said, close your eyes and take a sip of white wine and then take a sip of red wine. One has more body than the other, and that's how you describe body. So thank you, Emma, for that. Today's story is another good story about my friend Jeremiah. Everybody knows he's lived lots of places around the world. And Jeremiah, when living in Florida, had a pet alligator. And he went with that alligator into a bar one night, and he puts the alligator up and says, all right, if I open this alligator's mouth and put my genitals inside and leave them in there for 5 minutes, then remove my unit unscathed, will everybody buy me a drink? And the crowd murmurs, yeah, sure. Yeah, if you can do that, that's great. So he unzips his pants and he opens the alligator's mouth, puts his genitals in there, and somebody's there with a clock on 1, 2. You made 5 minutes, and he takes a beer bottle, hits that alligator in the top of the head, and opens his mouth, and sure enough, he's in great shape. He says, now, I dare anybody in the place to do the same thing that I just did. Nobody says anything for 2 or 3 minutes. And finally, a cute blonde at the end of the bar comes over and says, oh, I can give it a try. He says, really? She says, but one condition. So what's that? You're not going to hit me on the head with a beer bottle, are you?
Oh, my God.
The blushing Carlito is at it again.
Amazing. May I remind everybody that this is broadcasted out of Basel, Switzerland. There is no liability for Rich's behavior.
Oh, and I must say hello. Someone I notice is watching us today is the originator of this segment, Benoit Baked. Benoit has
beautiful.
been on watching us today. So hello, Benoit.
Benoit, welcome back on the show. We love you. We miss you.
Love you, Benoit. Yes.
Oh,
And
you
Benoit,
should so come back.
Wait, I need to make an announcement. This is very important. So Benoit's out there listening, and hopefully his chef is out there listening as well, Christophe Hardy-Quest, who I need to congratulate because I opened up the Goe Mio a few days ago, and I saw that the Bonbon restaurant in Brussels was awarded 19.5 out of 20 at Goe Mio, which is probably the best restaurant in the entire country again. So to Bonbon out there, congratulations. You do a hell of a job. You guys are the best, and I can't wait for these confinements to be lifted, and Carlito and I and the rest of the crew, we will be having the, what is it, Carlito, the herring?
Yes, you got it, brother. You got it. The herring, of course.
Ooh.
We'll be having the herring at Bonbon very, very, very soon.
One quick last
Ever
thing.
doing a joke while we're having dinner?
One quick last thing. It's a birthday greeting today. Feliz cumpleaños to a friend of the Fuentes and me, Brian Chinook's birthday. Happy birthday, Brian, if you're watching.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Happy
Absolutely.
birthday.
We love you, Brian. We love you.
Well, to wrap it up, Jochy, it's been a pleasure, even though I've been under attack by everyone today, but you got to pick on someone. But anyway, it's been, cousin, it's been a pleasure. Jose Manuel, great to see you. We're very happy for what all you have done for the industry, for all the small guys in Tamboril. We know how important you have been to these people, that if it wouldn't have been for you, a lot of these small factories. So it's been a pleasure and honor to see you, probably, if things go well. And I'm in DR with Carlito in January. The three of us will probably get together and go down memory lane and have some drinks. So good to see you, cousin.
Me too. Pleasure.
Jochy, before I pass the floor to Carlito, who I'm sure has a lot to thank you for, I wanted to extend my warmest gratitude to you and to your family, not only for being here tonight, but for everything you do and you've done for our industry. Like I said earlier on, you are a discreet man, you are a gentleman, and you are someone which is worth getting to know and is worth knowing. For those out there, again, this man is exceptional. What he's done in a very quiet way is legacy. And Jochy, it is immensely appreciated, particularly to people like ourselves who have been in this industry for so many generations, to witness a person, a family, a legacy like yourself. And we can only be relieved to see that your children are continuing this legacy. So we have future gentlemen to work with and future gentlemen to walk hand in hand and continue what we feel is the most beautiful industry in the world, the premium cigar industry. So Jochy, thank you very, 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 very much.
Thank you to you, and thank you for all the people being on. It was a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be with you guys. And like you said, this is a family and gentleman business. This is a unique industry. It's a industry for people that has the passion for love it and protect it. And we're going to be a long time more. And our generation will continue with our industry, our family industry. This is a family industry. This is an industry that you can feel proud, really proud of what we do. All the people that work with all our rollers, our ladies that vend the tobacco, our people that grows, our seed in the farms, hardworking people that has the passion and the love for our industry. A pleasure.
Amen.
Jochy, mi hermano, Jose Manuel, I just, I'm so happy that you were on the show today. It really means a lot to me because you are a quiet force. And for many years, as you said, that you prefer to be close to your family, to what you love the most, your children, your tobacco, and your factory. But you have moved and with very powerful steps forward. But one thing that I know and I want to tell the world is Jochy Blanco is my friend, but not only my friend, he's the friend of Santiago. He's the friend of all the Dominican Republic, and he's a friend of all cigar lovers around the world. Jochy is someone that gives of himself, that is very quiet, that doesn't ask, but he's always there to lead a helping hand. And people like that are very rare in this world. And Jochy, I admire you so much. I respect you. And I'm so happy to see Jose Manuel follow your footsteps, because you are absolutely right. What we do today is about the future, and we work hard so that we could leave this legacy and what our culture, our heritage of generations before us who worked so hard around the clock to feed their families, so that all that will stay alive within our children and run through generations to come and bring pleasure to people all around the world. And you are very, very needed to be able to accomplish that. All family businesses are needed to accomplish that. And we are all one. Jochy, thank you very much. Bendición, hermano, un abrazo. And we're not going to wait till next year when Jose comes to have that scotch. We're going to get together now in December as soon as I get back. Because I know Cito's waiting, he's waiting. So we're going to do that. Te quiero, hermano.
Yo también. Gracias.
All right, Melanie. Let's make sure that everybody out there understands how to watch the rerun of this incredible show with the one and only Jochy Blanco.
Absolutely. You guys, not only Jochy Blanco, but also all of our amazing guests that we've had in the past. You can absolutely watch all of the episodes. Share them with your friends, because this information is amazing and definitely historical. So go to our Facebook page right now. It is facebook.com/The Professor Show. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and then directly after that, go to our YouTube channel. All right. It is YouTube, and you can actually just Google our name, but I'm going to give you a link. It's called tinyurl.com, The Professor Show. See right there. Thanks, Jeremiah. And guys, just be sure to be able to share our information, share the wealth, because guess what? It is true. We have to unite with education, and the way that we unite is being able to share the education with all of our cigar smoking, loving family.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Melanie. Now, what's on the menu for next week, Professor?
Well, another family business. I think they're in their 4th or 5th generation. We're going to have Eric Newman's son, very knowledgeable, very passionate person. Mr. Drew Newman will be with us next week. It's going to be an incredible show, because the Newmans, also the same thing as the Padron, the Fuentes, the Blancos, Ernesto, and all the people that have been just doing things the right way, looking out for the little guys, working a lot with the brick and mortar shops. So it's going to be very, very interesting to have Drew Newman, who is very passionate and has been a huge supporter of CRA with his family, defending the rights that we have to smoke a legal product that we pay taxes and a lot of taxes for. But we bring pleasure, we bring tradition. So it's all about love, it's all about family. So tune in next Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, for another great show of Meet the Professor. And really try to nail me with cigar questions. The Addams family, really?
Thank you, Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, another show of Fuente and Meerapfel present Meet the Professor. And take care of yourselves and of others. And remember, if you don't do it with passion, don't do it at all. See you next week, everybody. Thank you very much. Another great show.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Jochy.